four-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my God! When does this happen? Everybody's dead.
G'day. Welcome to Division E East Cast. This time we have I believe it was a Coastal semi-finals match of Infernal Misfits facing off against FF and the Pancakes for Seed 1 and Seed 5 of the division respectively. Both winning their first round games against 8 and 4 respectively. Yeah, it's a little bit of an upset in terms of FF and Pancakes making it here, just because they would have had that harder match coming. They would have had the unfavored match coming into this against Beyonce Knowles. Meanwhile, Infernal Misfits did take out 36 of Mosh, which did have a decent go in the go at them in the first one, but unable to fully take them away. But it does happen. So we do have a banning out of Alterac Pass and Tales of Doom. Meanwhile, FF and Pancakes ban out Battlefield of Eternity and Volskaya Foundry, which leads us to the first map of Garden of Terror, which is just taking a little bit of time to open, so bear with me as I just double check why that is. That's why. Let me just get rid of these, move these over here. Move this. There we go. There we go. There's Garden of Terror. Excellent. Right. I should probably check if I have things. No, I think I have things the right way around because I remember that name and being dropped in by the whole team, which I'm now going to have a rule of I don't want the whole team for an interview ever again, but it happens sometimes. So we are going to get into the game of Garden of Terror, so let me swap on over to the in-game screen and we'll see where this goes. So, on the side of Infernal Misfits, we have Lone Wolf and Gadan, Skills 912 on Kerrigan, Nate Faniel on the Hogger, Wiregon Brightwing, and Joe Immortal on the Anubrak. Now on the right hand side, we do have Stampy on the Zeratul. I was making like blade motions with my finger, just like spin around. Now we have Grumpy Kitten on the Joanna XYZG. I don't know. On the I can't remember his name. Gazlo, Mr. G on Lucio, and Courtney is sorry, it's just sometimes like when there's just a normal name like Courtney or Joe or Dave, it really throws me off. But Courtney is on the Orphea. So we're gonna have both teams pressing up to each other now. Nice little bit of first early wave clear. Stampy pushing in, just gonna clear everything out, get that globe. Because I imagine if I look at it, we're gonna see Wormhole. Not Wormhole, but the Glow Quest. No, we don't. We do see Greater Cleave. So we're going to see that, we're going to go into that team fight, combo build type thing. I like seeing Blaze with Zeratul, funnily enough. Because you could, drop the VP, catch a few people. Blaze charges into the VP before it drops. So then basically as soon as you drop it, the charge will hit. Or at least the charge will complete and hit the people. Yeah, it's a good combo. But in terms of quests, we do have Lucio with that party mix. We do have a good 4-man just pushing things in here. As well as we have the Anubrak going Regeneration Master. Yeah, getting both globes. And Gul'dan is Drain Life build, which will let him off-lane pretty well into the mid-game. Especially once they start getting the Stelson. And we can see that this is very aggressive on the camps. Infernal Misfits are just snapping them out. Meanwhile, we can see, so what, Siege is up, Bruiser is up. And if you get the top Siege just before the time the objective comes up, you're in a really good spot. And we can see they just get 2 camps out like that. Grumpy Kitten, probably not the best person to solo lane. Imagine you'd probably see a little bit better off of Zeratul bottom, as Zeratul can just do that little spinny stuff. I nearly swore, that's not what I'm here for. Right, we can see this going down now. Right, Joe the Immortal is being ran at. Gonna be chased out, but not too much will happen. Meanwhile, we can see camp being taken. As I said, top camp being taken just before the objective comes up. You're in a pretty good spot. And now we can see that it's probably not going to get any kind of face. It looks like FF and Pancakes aren't really going to contest this objective, I'd imagine. Because they are just going to be getting camps. They're going to be doing a little bit of damage control. And I would have liked to see them get this camp out before objective comes up, but no, it looks like they are going to come down to objective. Aggressive pings coming out once again. You can see that Jody Immortal is alone and going to be pressed out a little bit. My camera is a bit off, sorry about that. As I'm going to place it down here now as I just quickly adjust something to my left. You can see that Polymorph is coming out on Stampy. Stampy in danger. Brightwing Polymorph is a natural predator of the Zero Soul. But we see Joanna is going down first. There's just a little bit too much damage from him. Jody Immortal steps up. Courtney is going to be backing out, not want to go down. Brightwing can use it's just for 35 seconds. And that will be the first fight of the series going over to the side of Infernal Misfits. Give me a moment. Sorry, I'm just going to pause this really quick and cut here. If you just give me 2 moments, sorry. I just want to check something. I know that, like, oh, he's slowing down the cast. Bear with me. I want to check a few things first. Let's do this. I just realized something. I'm like, I should probably affect my settings. I should probably do something about my settings before I do anything, because I realized it whispers on. And my friends I have who play this game can be a little bit arse sometimes. And go, you know what, let's message him in the middle of a... Yeah, they go, let's message him middle of a cast. And just, you can see the words, like, just this bright pink test thing, like, being rude to me. I'm like, I don't want that, but let's get back into it. So we can see this 4-man is very much playing together. And we've got Hogger trying to pick up the slack, or the 4-man rotating to lanes as needed. And this is a very hard 4-man to deal with. Maybe if you had something beefier, it'd be harder for them to deal with you, but it's a very hard one for you to deal with if you have a few squishies. And Zero Soul, albeit he's a slippery squishy, is a squishy. And the thing about Brightwing makes any squishy slippery squishies less slippery. And make them feel a lot more squishy, especially if they go the arm critterize at level 16, giving them minus armor. Meanwhile, Joe and Grumpy Kitten are in a fight. Nate Faniel. Anyway, Nate Faniel not doing the greatest into them, but Grumpy Kitten definitely doing worse. Having to back now. That camp goes down before too much else can happen. You can see now that FF and Pancakes are in position to take a fight here. Stampy forced out of their bush, is going to hold in one spot. Does dodge the follow-up stun, however, but will they be able to contest? They don't have Joe yet. Wygon finally forced to give. They do still get stunned by the circle and take a little bit of damage. Nice dodge of Stampy's W. You can see now that they're going to be forcing things out. They find where the boombox is, take it down. You see Lone Wolf backing out. Nice follow-up stun on Grumpy Kitten and ZG. Zaichi? We can see now that Kerrigan comes out of bush. Skill is doing the best they can. Stampy and Mr. G low in the background. But there'll be Joanna going first down once again. Brightwing can use Polymorph in 7 seconds. But we can see now that they're being chased out. Kerrigan takes out the last little minion that was in the way. That's a minute. Turret that was there. And they are going to rotate down now. Nice, hitting things away. Courtney now polymorphed in danger. Gets hit with a Q. Nice boot by Mr. G. Keeping Courtney and Stampy up a little bit longer. But will Mr. G be able to get up? They do turn around. And Skills may have been expecting them to keep going up. Down, I should say. But because Mr. G went up, they went to the safest spot possible. Which is their own... Well, not the safest spot possible. But a safer spot being their own fort. Fair enough. Right, we can see now the side of... Yeah, the side of Infernal Misfits are being very good at getting their camps. Because this camp has only just come up and they're already on it. Sure, Gul'dan has been sent here to deal with this. But they're still dealing with camps. And if they have both these camps pushing while the seeds, the plant terrors are pushing, this can do a lot. This may be able to do a lot. So it'll be very interesting to see where we go from here. Right, Lone Wolf takes out the camp. And that will be Bruiser Camp going over to their Infernal Misfits. Meanwhile, Siege Camp taken by FF Pancakes. Almost 10s for Infernal Misfits. And it's almost a mistake, actually, that the side of FF and the Pancakes are getting over the objective. Because this is the plant terrors coming up now. And it looks like we are going to get a very heavy push bottom. Jody Immortal and Ko over there. You can see the 5-man of FF Pancakes going to meet them. As we do have 10s on sides, both teams now. I'll talk about the talents in a bit. I'm just opening up shot respite. There is the Gravo. Vera's a cancel on it. Vera's a lot of damage coming out. And that is the general combo that they want, but no, it was survived. Skills going in. Stampy barely getting out. But no, it looks like there'll be a lot of heroics used, not really anyone going down. It looks like Brightwing is very, very good about pushing their buttons and making sure that people know that they're now there. We can see Grumpy getting pushed up. And we do see a lot of damage going out to Nathaniel. Nathaniel taking all the damage he can. Stampy having to blink out though as they were also feeling in danger. There is Brightwing phase shift at 15 extra healing. Does a lot to bump them up. You can now see that they're getting chased out. And it looks like there's still these plant tiers top and mid. Well, top now, by the way. But the push will continue bottom for Infernal Misfits. FF and Pancakes are trying to keep them out. But all 5 are here. It's just too hard to stop. Nathaniel is really aggressive here. They don't have Shockwave up, but they do have a lot of aggression. Which, I don't know how much they should get away with it. But I guess you're missing kind of consistent damage of Zero Tool. It's a bit hard to say. But I'm going to open up talents now and have a look at the heroics. So we do have Shockwave on the Hogger. Horrify Daniel. Oh, I can't remember what that one's called. Maelstrom Kerrigan, that's what it's called. Anubrak went the Locust Swarm, and we do see Emerald Wind Brightwing, which I do like a lot. It's not common by any means, but I do like Emerald Wind a lot. I'm not very good with it, but it is fun to see in action at least. Sorry, give me a moment, as I'm just messing on my microphone again. Right, that should be a little bit better for me just to slouch and talk now. There we go, that's much nicer. But we see Zero Tool goes down mid, because I was a little bit distracted by my microphone, and we can see now Brightwing is ready to use phase shift, and Zero Tool was taken out. I imagine Polymorph, once again, getting the better of him. Other things to talk about, we do have on the other side, the general combo of Void Prison, Gravo Bomb, and Eternal Feast. Those are the general combo that, if Pancakes want to run, just big combo, take them out of the fight. However, they, being the side of Infernal Misfits, can actually survive through a lot, because the Brightwing can, maybe not best get out of it, but can give spell armor and extra movement speed with that spell armor. Lone Wolf also does fight very well. But Jody, Immortal, Nathaniel, and Skills all have abilities that can help him get out. Sure, for Skills, it maybe more go in further to make sure they're out of a combo, but... Oh, swing of a combo, there it is. Nice, good insta-cleanse by Wygon, however, it will still be Gul'dan going down. Jody Immortal is the next one in trouble. That life-stealing, that Locust Swarm barely keeping him up, and it worked out for them. 80 health left, I think it went down to 12 at some points. Or it was 72, one of the two. We managed to hold on, and we can see Kerrigan is going in, booped out by Mr. G, and that Skills popping Maelstrom for nothing thanks to that boop from Mr. G. And this may actually be the first objective of the game that the side of FF and Pancakes are able to get. Infernal Misfits definitely had a time dealing with him there. Good pings coming out. I'm going to change from the stats and just now and just have to stats, I should say, just now. Let's have a look. Very even damage across the board. Both teams doing roughly the same amount. There's a lot more siege coming out from Infernal Misfits, which is why they were able to push in a little bit more so far. But in all, even Soak is still very much the same. Jody, Immortal, Nathaniel forced out, but the camp has already been taken. The damage is done, and they got what they wanted. So pushing up to the top wave now. They're going to deal with these camps. We do see that there's the second at first, but very much it feels like what are FF and Pancakes needing to do here. I do like that Blessed Shield is here, but I think Blessed Shield almost needs to be saved until after, as part of a combo piece, almost. Because, yeah, sure, we're still getting very good Void Prisons and Grabs following it up. But they keep moving out of it very soon after. We do see that is the Void Prison coming out. Not too much that can be done about it there. But we see the combo coming out once again. That combo doing so much. Gul'dan goes down. Brightwing, but we do see Orpheus straight out in the background. ZG, whatever it is getting relatively loaded now. Skills wanting the kill there, but unable to do so. Stampy doing a little bit of Beyblade action on top of him. Skills will go down in just a few moments. There they go. And that's a 3-for-1 for the side of FF and Pancakes. They are finding their footing this game and actually able to sticking it to Infernal Misfits, who I've heard said kind of has felt like a little bit at times that they shouldn't be placed in this division, but it looks like that FF and Pancakes are going to at least give them a run for their money. You can see his health stats went up there. Healing is also pretty equal, but we'll go back to talents. Nothing changed here because we haven't hit 16s yet after these 13s. But the teams are still neck and neck in terms of experience and thing. No, I have to go here? That's just not what I wanted. I accidentally pushed the wrong button. There we go. Yeah, barely any difference in soak between the two teams. Grumpy Kitten is out of position. Nathaniel, a little bit greedy there. They tried to go for a W hit onto the Kitten. However, if they just rolled into them, they probably would have definitely dismounted them. However, because they dismounted trying to hit a combo on them, it didn't work out quite how they wanted it to. Alright, let's have a look at this talents real quick. Interesting to see Berserker. Not something you see often, but I do like the pickup. And also, Kerrigan going with painful spikes, which, hell yeah. And now we're going to get a big old fight coming out here. And now that damage spikes are online for both teams, this could be interesting. Gravo. Gravo doesn't quite find anything. Camp is found by the side of F and Pancakes. Meanwhile, we just see a fight coming out. We do see that's actually Hogger going down first, but then Gul'dan finds the Zeratul in the fray. Jody Immortal is getting relatively low. Did pop the Locust Storm for it. And that's Kerrigan going down next. Her body just kind of popping up. We can see Grumpy Kitten barely holding on as well. It does get hit with Lone Wolf's Q. Actually getting relatively low. And that will be now Seed behind them. But it looks like that the side of Infernal Misfits wants blood instead of the Seed. Which I don't know how I feel about it. We do see Iron Skin needing to be popped by... Yeah, I don't know why Infernal Misfits chose to re-engage here. I'm going to be honest. Was it just overconfidence? Because now we've got to have a pretty strong store by Infernal Misfits if they want to make sure they don't get a Plant Terror pushing into them. But no, we get aggressive pings all over the place. And it looks like they are going to be giving... Oh, I think... Yeah, the Plant Terrors are all going to be very defensively placed. Is probably the thing they're noting there. Thing that was being noted there by one of the two teams. I don't know which one. But, yeah, as you can see, these Plant Terrors are very far back in lanes. They actually peter out a lot by the time they get there. And it looks like they have now order of... Let's just go top mid bot and deal with the Plant Terrors that way. Okay, whoever's pinging this much can you? Not, mate. Give me a moment, as I'm just going to hold it on Hogger and watch... Actually, no, let's watch this here. We see a lot of damage coming out. That is the Void Prison. There is the Gravo. We see a lot of damage coming out. Jody Immortal and Skills barely holding on. Blessed Shield coming out a little bit later than maybe I would have liked to see it. But it still worked out for them. As that is a good... That's a good kill onto the... To say... I don't know what I'm doing. Onto the... My brain just had a mental reset. Sorry about that one, guys. I just completely zoned out for a brief moment. That was a good kill onto the Anubrak, I was trying to say. Disabling what they can... Disabling any counter engage that the side of... that the side of Infernal Misfits wants to do. Man, I've never been that lost before. Anyway, we see Stampy going in. Nice pulling off coming out onto them. We do see that Skills is going to be following Stampy. Doesn't quite have a combo in time. W comes out a bit later. Hits Joanna, but no, Skills pops are in a little bit of desperation and doesn't quite hold on. They had 16 health left, and that ability there will do a little bit more than 16 health worth of damage. Nice polymorph. We can see minus 25 health. Grumpy Kitten does throw out with Blessed Shield to hold on, but no, there'll be Grumpy Kitten going down. And through that objective phase, only one building was found. Only one structure went down. Jody Immortal has walked straight into the Grabber Bomb. Nate Faniel relatively low, and Lone Wolf as well. Jody Immortal stepping up aggressively once again. Right. Sorry about that. Let's get back into it now. As we have that going down, we have a good rotation coming up for Siege Camps. So, General, keeping that macro up. And how these teams have been macroing and making sure they can keep everything even. It's very much both teams are pretty much going to be 20 at the same time. It'll be a little bit in favor for FF and Pancakes. They have found a few of these late game kills and kept up with Siege more or less, as I'm aware. Yes. The main difference is structures and passive experience. That's the only things that they aren't leading it. As we can see, they're just about there. 20s come through now. Let's have a look at Storm Talents, because see the miniature black hole from the Gazlo, so that may be a very tough thing that the side of that the side of Infernal Misfits need to overcome. We do also see the Shadow Mending from Zero Tool, giving that survivability in the fight. We see Blessed Shield Joanna, sorry, Radiating Faith Joanna, as well as Orphea going the Monster Within and House Party Lucio. I do like this being taken here by the side of Infernal Misfits, but as I say, they don't necessarily need the seed at this point. You can just give it. You've only just gone your heroics, got Storm Talents, which you can see Intensive Winds, you can see Life Stealing Locust, which I hate, Hive Master, which I hate that talent with a passion, but it does pretty well in a few situations, especially for survivability. We also have the Blink Bolt of a Storm from Skills 912, which can help them get out of the Gazlo, the Zero Tool Gazlo Orphea combo, as well as we do see Horrify and Anger Management from Hogger. It's not something you see often, but I do like the pickup. There is the Void Prison, here is the Graver Bomb, here is the Orphea, and Gordana's dead. Maybe it would have been better for the safety circle to be picked, hard to say. That minus healing reduction doing so much for Jody Immortal. Jody Immortal has to back out. Wygon now is the one danger. Where is the Emerald Wind? There it is. But no, Joanna popped the Iron Skin, is able to walk straight through it. And that is another few kills for the side of Infernal not Infernal, for the side of FF and Pancakes. Which, oh dear. This is looking to be a good match indeed. Courtney's starting the channel. Look, doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to stop him. And meanwhile, oh, right. I was like, what the hell was that? It was the Locust. Meanwhile, Hogger is just pushing top. They are... Are they going to be able to... Are they just going to back? No, they're just going to be left alone to push as they like. Which, not ideal if you're the side of FF Pancakes just leaving that alone. But if you're Infernal Misfits, you're like, hell yeah, Hogger's getting value. And they're still getting value. They are breaking this forward apart. You can see they're still not sure if they should be here. Joanna is here now. Nathaniel, I don't think is going to escape. Nope. Nice little suck by Grumpy Kitten, keeping Nathaniel in. But keep in mind, it was Grumpy Kitten who backed. There's no tank down here. You know there's no tank down here if you're the side of Infernal Misfits. So in your head, there must be something in your head going, go. Brightwing is up. They all have phase shift. You can just go. Joanna is top. Which I don't... Like, of all people, it shouldn't be... I understand why it's Job, just because you need the other three heroes here for your combo. Nice Horrify coming out. And that is Zero Till dead. And that's why you need them there, because, well, that's that fight. That's a very big pick, that fight. Zero Till is one of those harder ones to kill, and you managed to find them very quick. Meanwhile, Courtney and ZG is in an awkward spot. Nice boot by Mr. G. Courtney hitting a Q to survive. But no, Jody Immortal will hit the E on them. Just follow up with a W Vortex here as well. And that will be a kill onto Orphea. So that's now 2 down for the side of FF and Pancakes. Will they be able to get ZG as well? No, we do have a little bit too much speed. Yep, Jody Immortal isn't quite able to get on top of him. And that will be that fight. I just want to check something real quick. We have debilitation. Interesting. Normally see Epicenter, but I do like seeing debilitation. It's the least picked one, I think. You usually either see Epicenter or the Beatles talent there, but this is a very good one. And we can see Hogger is actually pushing top throughout all this. Bottom being pushed here as well. But looks like the side of Infernal Misfits are choosing to back up. They're just going to be taking objective, I will imagine. No, they're just taking camp. No objective? I don't know. Hogger is actually pressed up really high, still is the issue. Grumpy Kitten, if they had shield, I'd imagine just go rip. And then we can see what happens to Nathaniel. But Nathaniel is able to walk away as there is not really any point and click CC that can stop him from doing anything. Well, we see Wygon did grab the seed for the side of Infernal Misfits. And it's even still. Yes, there is now a little bit of experience lead for Infernal Misfits. There's also definitely a structure lead for them. That's the one thing I'm really talking about with structure lead. Because they have a win condition open. They can just go top and end. Meanwhile, for Infernal Misfits, no, for FM Pancakes to end, they have to get to either this lane, or if that's on option, burn, because of just how long it takes to rotate. You'll burn this, then get to core. So ideally, the next fight is down low, but no, it'll be up high. We see it's a very aggressive positioning by Nathaniel there. And for some reason my computer is really lagging a little bit today. We do see, however, Zero Till going down first. Nice! 4-man stun. That's 4 people down. Just Hogger alive. This now is something where maybe if Pancakes can take this, Nathaniel may need to hold on a little bit. We can see that Grumpy Kitten is backing. I don't know why that is so in want of backing. But no, that was an excellent Gravo Bomb 3000 by the Gazlo. They were able to get a 4-man kill on Infernal Misfits. However, Hogger staying alive yet is an issue. Hogger can do a lot themselves, and because of how all the lanes are pushed up, this objective won't get too much value. They really need to use this middle one as their main source of damage, and push even. Sorry, just checking things. As you see that first fort goes down, the Plantera is going to continue pushing. Who is messaging me and why? But yeah, it is pushing further up now. I'm going to switch back over to here. And we can see this fort is going through down now. Well, not fort, the towers of a keeper going down now. Keep being pushed into by Plantera. However, it looks like the 4-man of FF Pancakes are choosing to back up. They don't really want to deal with a full force of Infernal Misfits, even though they have done so pretty well this game. They're managing it pretty well. And we're already at a 22-minute game. Keep that in mind. This is going the way. Level 23 to 23. And there's still a relatively healthy Plantera bottom. Nathaniel going unnecessarily aggressive. I wouldn't mind seeing a turn onto them, considering the positioning of them. But no, they are just going to be left alone, and they will back out to safety. Right. See that minions getting taken out, and this camp will be pushed onto. It's going to get started. Nice Stampy going in there, getting a nice little bit of cleave. But no, it is more just going to scare anyone off than anything else. Because I believe that they're getting very scared. Oh, my computer, thank you. I believe that it does feel very, what's the word I'm looking for? Infernal Misfits aren't happy about this combo going off so much. It's being very well executed by FF and the Pancakes. And with that miniature black hole by, oh god, I can never remember how to say it. I don't know how to say ZG's name. Like, what is XYXGY? How do you pronounce that? Zygi? Zygi? I don't know. Either way, we do see that they are going to be clearing this gap. As I was trying to say, miniature black hole is the reason why these fights are being so difficult currently for Infernal Misfits. They don't know how to deal with this combo. Really, they need to space effectively, so only one or two people, so only one person even, is caught by the Void Prison. Because that very much then neuters the setup that does for the Gravel Bomb. Because the Gravel Bomb at this point is very hard to escape if timed correctly. If timed incorrectly, it could be very easy to escape, or you don't need to escape at all. But no, it looks like they've practiced this combo a lot, and it's doing well for them this series, for this game at least. I don't know how all series go, but this game definitely. Nathaniel is stepping up, throwing some trash at the building. It's not the light on fire trash, and we can see that as Hog is spinning out. Stampy is following him, but Joe the Immortal is following them. Stampy now a little bit out of position. Fortunately for them, Brightwing wasn't further pressed up. Otherwise, we may have seen a polymorph. And well, a polymorphed Zero Tool is not going to be a fun one to. It's not a fun one to play. What did they go at 13? Oh, they did go Wormhole. Cool. I was like 7. I mean, sorry. Nice seed pick up. Stampy in an awkward situation. There is the Void Prison. There is the Gravo Bomb. There is the combo. And that's 2 people instantly dead. Meanwhile, we do have Katas pushing the core. We do see now that's 1 kill onto the Zero Tool. Kerrigan's holding on as best as she can. Skills trying to survive, but ZG was able to hold on there and actually get the kill. That's another kill for them, however. Jody Immortal holding on. Nathaniel as well. Nathaniel doing the best. Jody Immortal down to 100 health. Will go down. And that is now just Hogger left alone, who will be a harder one to kill because they do have some pretty good escapes. But there is still a Lucio and co chasing after them. But it looks like they choose to back out after all that. And Nathaniel immediately turns around and goes back down. And Orphea just left the camp. That would have been excellent if they had found it. Mr. G has a 6th sense going. They know. Nathaniel, you have to give that, bud. Yep, Nathaniel does back out. And that camp is taken by FF and Pancakes. So meanwhile, we do have objective coming up top. It will be even numbers-ish. I say ish for a reason because we've only just seen 2 respawns now, and the seed is only coming up now, so it'll take them a little bit to get back. But in all honesty, I'm surprised Infernal didn't come up to kind of stall this out. Because you could have gone with this. You could have gone with this and probably gone seed, but no, we see Courtney pulls everyone away from Mr. G, albeit Courtney's getting relatively low and doesn't have to go, I don't want to die to this. But they do give it seed, and it will be a little bit longer this game goes on. Nearly at half an hour now, so I'm going to have a quick drink as I just lean back and open up the bottle. This camp is getting lowered pretty quickly at this point. I just need to check the time because I'm going to make sure I'm not going to miss something. Oh my god, it's nearly 6:19, 6:50. Okay. 3, 4, 6. Cool. Cool. I can do one more series after this, depending on how long the series is. Right. If they're both like 30, 40 minutes games, maybe not, but hopefully we can. Right, we do see Stampy is in a little bit of trouble. Does Beyblade on top of a minion wave. If his camp's going to clash, but not really do too much. Meanwhile, we have seed coming up again. Once again, if Infernal Misfits can get the seed, they're probably going to take it. But if we get another good combo like FF and Pancakes have been doing the whole time, it may be very much FF and Pancakes can end off this. Hard to say, just because, well, it is what it is, but it's very hard to say from here. It looks like they're all set up and ready to go, though. They've got Stampy in that forward position, kind of in a good scouting spot. It looks like they decide, you know what, let's just go. I was gonna say, I don't know how that Mr. G is getting so much channel on it, but no, it looks like they're wanting to press in. Cooldown hits a nice little bit of stun. Mr. G is now in danger. There's the Gravo, there is the rest, there's double damage. That's 2 heroes down once again. Kerrigan actually finds Lucio early on in that fight with Courtney, however, we'll be trying to hold on during it. Once again, we get these 2 kind of meatball builds. Hoggo rolls through, Infernal trying to do best to hold on. Skills actually really low. Courtney finds a kill there. And Courtney's doing a lot. Really needs to be Orphea finding a kill first. We need to get a very aggressive engage into either if Zeratul gets picked, this is all like their plan goes out window. If Zeratul gets picked or the Gazlo gets picked, that's what essentially Infernal Misfits need to do at this point. They need to get those 2 picks, and they need to do that before the fight truly breaks out. Because how it's happening currently is they're kind of just waiting. They go in on the Lucio, but Lucio isn't important to the combo. If you can get 2 people off the bat and just trade Lucio for it, you're probably in a pretty good spot, especially if it's a healer and a damage. Because cooldown is your consistent damage, Kerrigan very much is your burst. You need that cooldown to stay alive to help set up the Kerrigan. And if you lose as we've been seeing cooldown being lost every time this series, like, it's just a problem. Right, however, we have another seed spawning. For both teams, this is a 3rd seed. So this probably is do or die. A 30-minute plant terror is going to be horrifying to deal with, no matter who you are. Meanwhile, we can see Hogger's pulled everyone away, but this is very much a distraction, it feels like. Because if Kerrigan can leash these and then someone get the objective, that may be it. Really, Nathaniel being the distraction is Hogger maybe what clutches it out here. And yeah, this is Plant Terror is essentially going straight to core. Not this one, but the other 2 are very aggressively pushed up. And that chase onto the Hogger may have costed FF and Pancakes the game. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. That's the first Plant Terror on it. And it looks like now the side of Infernal Misfits are getting the objective. We do see a peel coming out. And that is Zeratul going down before the combo can come out. So now we've got to hope for it, well, dry Gravo like that. We can see that it's cooldown going down once again, and we actually find the Anubrak this time. But core is still going down pretty quickly at this point. We're already at 50%. It's falling of every hit of those minions. Skills is going to barely hold on to Courtney. Yep, will hold on. Survives. But that will be the first map of the series. Going over to the side of Infernal Misfits. GG's called by both sides for that first map. Let's have a look at the game summary screen, shall we? That combo was very oppressive. FF and Pancakes were doing great. Just however, at the end there, their plan fell apart. They chased a Hogger for a little bit too long, and Infernal Misfits got the point and ultimately took the game with it. So in terms of stats, we have Gul'dan and Orphea both doing a lot of siege as well as Hoggett and Joe not too far behind them with that 200k on Joe. 230k, sorry, almost 240k and 230k respectively between Orphea and Gul'dan. There's a lot, especially also we're talking hero damage charts with 134k on the Orphea and Gul'dan have 84. Into the Soak Fate also, Joanna had 31k, Hog had 25k, as Hog was split pushing a lot, and for some reason it was the Joanna going back to deal with him a lot, not which isn't ideal because you do have 3 members of your team who are needed for the combo, and I'm wondering if Joe is maybe not quite the most appropriate tank. Maybe you run something like a Blaze, because Blaze is actually a very good tank for this sort of thing, because they can pick up Soak, they can tank. But either way, it is what it is. That is over. In terms of healing, both healers pretty close. Lucio absolutely putting in work, but that Brightwing with their cleanse just did enough. In terms of stats, anything that stands out to me? No. We did have a combo build. We did have that Zero Tool kind of team fight clear build. Thank you for subscribing, Corrosive. Hope you're doing well. Hey there, yourself, mate. Hope you're doing well today. But we are going to drop it on over to the map view screen and see what we have. I didn't even click right button. See what we have coming up next for this series. I feel like it's Dragon. No, Braxis. No, Braxis was banned, wasn't it? Braxis wasn't banned. We can have Braxis. I want Braxis. It's not Braxis, it's Dragonshire. Never mind. A point control map nonetheless, but it isn't Braxis, so I'm sad. But we do have some interesting comps by the looks of it. I'm going to put Dragonshire here, and once we're in the game, I'll switch it on over. There we go. In game. Let's go. Oh, where my computer works for me. Right. So, on the side of FF and Pancakes, we have Grumpy Kitten on the Diablo, Mr. SIW? Siu? Mr. Siu on the Joanna, Mr. G on Lucio, Stampy on the Maev, and Courtney once again on the Orphea. So we once again falling into a kind of combo build type thing. Meanwhile, we have Nate Faniel on the Blaze, who I do indeed love. This maybe not quite as much on this map. We do also have skills on the...
5, 4, 3,
I forgot to mention Diablo. Grumpy Kitten on Diablo. We also have skills on the Gul'dan. Not often you see them on a not melee system, but here we are. Wygon on the Brightwing, Joe Immortal on May, who barely wasn't hit by blind, and Lone Wolf on the Kael'thas. I was like, KT, Kel'Thuzad. No, the other KT. Ice KZ. Fire KT, yes. We see Stampy going in looking for a combo. No, it doesn't able to do so. Nice ice block by Jody Immortal. Not quite want to get pulled in by Stamping One. There's a little bit of bomb spree going on. Grumpy Kitten and Miss G taking a decent amount of damage there. So let's have a look at talents real quick. Which is talents. We just have Gul'dan stacking that W quest at level 1, so kind of leaning in towards me more of the offlane thing. But on the other side, we do have Laws of Hope Joanna. We have the... Okay, this doesn't matter. Vigorous Volta just comes at level 20. That is what it is. We also do have Black Soulstone on Diablo, but we don't know quite what build they'll go yet, just because Feast on Fear isn't the most revealing. I imagine it may be auto attack if we're seeing Feast on Fear, but it could still be Fire Stomp or Charge. Meanwhile, we do have Lucio once again going Party Mix. Right, Blaze and Joe are just going to be training a little bit top, but Blaze... He's like, you know what, I can pick up some double soak in action. Let me just go down here. Let me just auto-attack some things real quick. Watch me go. Bob's your uncle. She'll be right. Rada rada. We do see Joe will be standing up on top. And meanwhile, bottom camp is being done by the side of Infernal Misfits. And I don't think FF and Pancakes realize. They may think like, oh, they're Bruiser camp. But no, we do see that already both sides of the objective are going to be held by FF and Pancakes. But Blaze can do a lot to stall this bit out top. And we can see that is from Bruiser camp now. Jody Immortal going very aggressive, pushing Grumpy Kitten in, but does get pushed close towards the gates, however won't be into the gates. Meanwhile, we do see that it is auto-attack Diablo, like I kind of thought it would be and how I mentioned it would be, because sometimes I do actually know what I'm talking about. But we do also see, interesting enough, we can see Pin Down. Not the most picked talent. In fact, I think it's the least picked talent. I was going to say, Courtney, do not run that bomb into Grumpy Kitten, because it may actually be Grumpy Kitten at that point, or Angry Kitten if we're not too careful. But we can see now, they're just getting constantly poked out. They do have Maev soaking mid, sure, so they are making up for this push by that mid soak. But that's already 2 towers down. Grumpy Kitten's low. And we do have him pushing in. Stampy getting a nice tether. All 3 people being pulled in. Jody Immortal is the one in danger. However, Grumpy Kitten flips him. Pushes him into behind where this line is, but not quite deep enough. Stampy trying to get what resets they can. Volt used directly on top of Courtney. Courtney gets a bomb spread to him, and that'll be that fight. Meanwhile, up top, Joanna's just having a good time, and Blaze is getting double soaked. So coming back down here, Grumpy Kitten is the one stepping onto objective. We see that May drops Blizzard, and that now Grumpy Kitten is between a rock and a hard place, as they are losing health pretty quickly. Mr. G is doing their best to keep him up, but it is just a Lucio with their sustained AoE healing. Once Grumpy Kitten's build comes online at level 13, it'll be much harder. It'll be much easier for them to live, just because auto attacks giving 4% healing if you have the Soulstone complete, or 2% if you don't. So I believe that's what it is. 1.75 and 3.5. So they did. That's right. They did lower the amount there, so it wasn't as oppressive. But meanwhile, we do see Stampy is getting forced out. That might lead him to do a little bit of Volt at the end to dodge the bomb damage itself. But they're ultimately fine. 7 through, roughly the same time for both teams, so working out pretty well for both teams. Grumpy Kitten seeing objective. We don't see... Well, as you say, we don't see anything happening here. But looks like objective will be in favor of FF and the Pancakes in a few moments. And Nate Faniel is now going to have a look at the DK to make sure nothing cheeky happens. Oh, Nathaniel, you haven't spotted. Stampy doing what they can. Nice double tether. Nice quick one. Lone Wolf can get what damage they can out. We do see Blaze charging, not quite finding anything. Stampy, however, taking a bit too much damage, will get taken out by a Chaos Bomb. Mr. G getting relatively low to it as well. Mr. Side Siu is coming down bottom. Well, coming down to mid, but not going to be able to get away with too much done. We can see now that Blaze is pushing up. So imagine if I saw Joe, we're going to see her offlane build. No, we see a weird build from Joe. I thought we were going to see W at 4. We do not see W at 4. We see Iron Skin upgrade picked up at 4, which is very interesting to say the least. I don't know what really their plan is there, but we'll have to see how it goes. Because last map we did at least see that there was a big combo that really Infernal Misfits struggled with. And I imagine we may have seen those heroes banned out again. It's hard to say. And Diablo is actually kicked all the way over the wall and actually over this nice statue here. Grumpy Kitten charging in, hitting the Dragonite. Dragonite kicking Diablo out once again. Stampy in behind, getting a nice triple tether. Fire going out. Dragonite, or Brightwing is finally deciding to back out now. Lone Wolf actually got the bottom camp underneath him throughout all that. We see Wygon is in danger, gets Polymorph out. Still a decent amount of damage onto them, but a little bit extra armor provided by that boombox, because apparently feeling the music, it helps you live. Just does that little bit extra. Survivability. Blue team destroyed a fort. How dare they? How dare they destroy a fort, man? Absolute ridiculousness of that. Brian was reading Soothing Mist. Cool. You can see it looks like there's going to be a big fight breakout, but no, we do see Tens come up instead. As I'm going to open that, we do see Horrify Gul'dan. We see Phoenix from the Galefist, Bunker Drop Blaze, Avalanche on May, as well as the Emerald Wind once again on Brightwing, who is going to the full Polymorph build instead of Phase Shift, which I do like this. This is a nice change. Not seeing Greater Shift? Phase Shift? Either way. On the other side, we do see Blessed Shield Joanna. We see Lightning Breath Diablo, which... Wait. Interesting to see Malevolence picked up this build, but we'll go back in a few ticks. Because we do also see Warden's Cage Maev, also that mid-fort just went down just like that. We do have the Beat Drop Lucio, and once again, Eternal Feast Orphea. What I was going to say, though, it's very interesting to see Malevolence in this Diablo build. That's not Blink Heal. That is not Blink Heal, that is Emerald Wind. No, I was talking about the level 1 Hyper Shift talent. Yeah. It is very unusual, but yeah, Malevolence, very interesting with Diablo's build, because it is, typically you see the auto attack gives cooldown reduction to abilities, just so you can essentially get a lot of abilities going off later in the game, especially once 13 comes through, where you get cooldown reduction on your when you get attack speed once you stun someone. So you see, like, you'd Q // E, like E auto attack, E auto attack, E auto attack, and that's just your general core gameplay loop of getting someone stuck in the same place for a long time. But with Malevolence, you can't do that because you're not getting cooldown reduction. Yeah, sure, you get a lot burstier. Your auto attacks do a decent amount of extra damage, 154 extra damage with 2 charges of it. So what? Everest level, an extra 308 damage. That does add up over time, and there is actually a little bit of scuffle going down mid. We can see now everyone is coming to fight. There's a Warden's Cage, there's a Polymorph Fade. They've already opened it out. Wygon getting pulled back in once again. Emerald Wind dropped right in the middle of it. Jody Immortal, however, has been standing in the... Oh. Kalphus goes down the back line. We do see Misty going down by Lone Wolf. And that's a good 2 kills by the side of... Infernal Misfits. No, to be fair, Corrosive, I wasn't entirely clear because I'm just like rambling sometimes to no end. Which, yeah, fair enough. It's sometimes hard to tell what's going to happen, especially because I'm like, if I don't use the exact... This is why I do try to remember the exact terms of talents. Because if I don't recall them, sometimes the healer's like, hang on a minute, what does he mean? And I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry, I do play Brightwing, I just can't remember what it's called. I just pick Hyper Shift, I don't know what it's called. But it's interesting to see Greater Polymorph nonetheless, especially with Emerald Wind picked up as well. So we're very much getting a heavy CC Brightwing as opposed to a heavy heal Brightwing. We can see Maev, her Ghost of a Warden is coming back to her. Dragonite got a decent amount of value there, however Nate Fanel is going to have to back out. Nice pull by Stampy. Brightwing's Emerald Wind was actually cancelled. The windup was cancelled by Joanna's W. Meanwhile, Blaze is sitting in bunker, feeling safe for a moment. Grumpy getting now one in danger, gets hit with a stun, and that will be them going down. Nate Fanel doesn't quite find the stun onto Diablo, but they did find the stun onto Lucio. Now Lucio is having to back out as well. 13 through, so I'm just going to briefly bring this up. What is this? Safety dust? Pixie Power. 55. Yeah, I typically, if I've seen Greater Polymorph picked up, I also see Blink Heal picked up. Or if you see Phase Shift picked up, that's when you often see Emerald Wind a bit more. Just, it's an interesting choice, but it is definitely working out for Brightwing this map, so who am I really to judge? They're definitely making it work for them, and that is kind of all that matters sometimes. Stampy blinking in, gets a nice little Q off. But the camp has already been taken by the side of Infernal Misfits, so not really too much that can be done there. God, please don't let this be another 30-minute match. I do not want to be stuck here all day. Right, Stampy getting Tev on Nathaniel. Nathaniel having to follow it in. Actually doing pretty well not getting hit by Tev. Meanwhile, we see Orphea finishes her E-Quest. Nice Maev Warden Cage, pulling everyone back in. They really are just doing their best to get hit by everything. Wygon getting relatively low, needing to drop that Emerald Wind. Fear also hitting Lucio. Lucio will go down first. Nice stun by Nathaniel, hitting 4 members of the side of FM Pancakes. And we see that Orphea goes down next. Grumpy Kitten is going to be, looks like they're going to be the next one on the block. W is going to be a little bit too much for them to survive. Actually, they barely did survive the blast of W, but didn't survive the follow-up Blaze charge. And very well placed Q by Lone Wolf, and that will be a 5-man kill for the side of Infernal Misfits. I honestly don't know why they're not pushing in here, but hey, each to their own. As we do see that is this front tower going down. Lone Wolf is going to start the keep. We can see the rest of the team is pushing in with it. Right, this building is dropping relatively quickly now. It looks like they're going to ping like, maybe here next. And it looks like, yeah, they are going to migrate their way down. Grumpy Kitten's going to see what they can do to deter them from doing so. But that building went down in just a few breaths. Phoenix being used. We do see May sliding in. Joe need to pop Iron Skin. Nice, stopping the Blaze from going too far. The core actually then stunned Blaze afterwards, meaning that they weren't really able to go anywhere. Polymorph onto Grumpy Kitten. Grumpy Kitten being forced out. Courtney getting a nice chop of Jody Immortal. Wygon actually in danger now because they were stuck under the core towers taking shots. But no, they do hold on. Nice charge by Blaze. You see Joe getting a counter stun. And then once again, Blaze gets stunned again. No charge from Grumpy Kitten because that may have actually been Nate Fanduel's downfall there. But no, we can see they're actually feeling a little bit scared to go in currently. Oh, I do suppose that it is a Diablo still refilling this also. Nice. Polly and Fear onto the Stampy. Meanwhile, Jody Immortal is stepping in. We do see them removing it. Grumpy Kitten pushing May in. May is actually out of resources. They're in trouble. We can see now, actually, that's a double kill. Blaze finding both Diablo and, well, at least finishing off Diablo and Lucio. And now this may be an all-short. Nathaniel charging out instead of in. A little bit scared, but fair enough. You are low health, low mana, and you're needing those regen globes, man. Being about low health, low mana, Jody Immortal is as well. It looks like we have a very half-committed push. We're like, oh, we're running out of resources, but we're here now. Courtney gets point-blank stunned. Little nice hit by Wiregon there. Courtney getting relatively low, but we are going to see core down to 54% now. There's been a little bit of fear around going anywhere. Wiregon taking a decent amount of damage, takes a decent chomp as well. They're getting chased down by Courtney. Wiregon holding on as best as they can. Does use the Emerald Wind, able to get out. Mr. SIW going to go down to the Chaos Fist bomb. However, Nathaniel was stepping up. We can see the charge didn't quite hit Diablo. Diablo barely flipped Nathaniel in time. Nathaniel really isn't doing well with these charges. Flipped once, jumped over by the other. Not great. But no, we see cores at 34% now. We may actually finally get an end call here. Or it does feel like we're playing right up. Core is slowly going. That will be Courtney going down now, however. Nathaniel is stepping up, stepping into the core now, doing what they can to burn it down. And that looks like it'll be the game. Adversaries going over the side of Infernal Misfits. GG's called by both sides. And Nathaniel forgets how to change the thing just for a little bit. But right, let me swap on over to the stat screen once I get back to my OBS. And we'll see how that went. In terms of Siege, Blaze did a lot. They had to go up against Joanna in the offlane, which they can clear faster, so they were actually picking up double soak for a lot of the game. Which, honestly, if you have a character who can pick up the double soak and you have the time to do so, do it, because it makes your 4-man, it makes everything much easier on the 4-man to actually fight. Because you see, my Ev was split off from Infernal Misfits a lot that game, because they were getting the mid soak instead of Joanna. And in the end, that came to bite them as they did get down experience a little bit. 10s came in first for Infernal Misfits, and they were able to kind of roll on from there. In terms of other stats, we had a good team fight, cooldown, once again topping charts, as well as Orphea doing the best to kind of pump it up as well. Lucio, not quite so much healing as Brightwing. So a little bit of the inverse of the other, but that's because Lucio's main healing spike comes at 16, which they were well and truly past 16 last match, getting up to, what, 24, 25, 26, 27, somewhere in that range. But right, what I'm going to do is throw it on over to map view screen. I'm going to check a few things, because I may do one more cast. What's time? Let me check something first, when this works for me. Come on, computer. Come on, computer. I've gone to the wrong division. Right. But yes, as we can see, Infernal Misfits, F and Pancakes did go 2-0. The first map, very long, very even. The combo for FF Pancakes just was so hard for Infernal Misfits to deal with, but Infernal Misfits very much felt like this next map was theirs to take, and they did well in doing so. However, I think I'm going to call it there. I need to have a little bit of a break before I cast GGS later with Plasticine, who I've been very much enjoying casting with them. It's been great. So I'm going to call it here. I wish everyone a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, because time zones are weird. And I'll see you all, well, in the Nexus. Goodbye for now.